Okay, this is level 4 of Tunnels of Death, and it's been a good run so far. I got Cleave 1. But like I said, if you don't listen to me drone on because it gets kind of boring, feel free to hit mute now. So level 4 does tend to get a little messy, but we'll see how it goes. So in this fight, similar to level 2, I'm going to attempt to use my melee to push the Magician into the middle and clump everything up and then melt it all with Acid Rain. Okay, looking good so far. You can see I've got a really good clump here. I'm going to try to set my acid rains so they hit them both. The Magician isn't particularly weak to acid, but I'm going to try to damage both of them in the process. Then depending on where it is hit point wise, next turn I'll decide whether I'm going to try to melt it or melee it down. So as you can see, like the Death Knight just falls right over, but the Magician is not particularly weak to acid even after it's cursed. So I'm going to keep working on these Death Knights. But I do have to worry about this Magician because it's going to pop next turn. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and debuff it for my melee and put a Mind Rod on it to make it a little bit easier to hold and have the holds hold a little bit longer. So I'm going to start meleeing this guy and hopefully he doesn't. His proc is pretty annoying. I'm going to continue working on these Death Knights and see if I can't get this guy to hold. We'll see what happens. There's a book on the ground. It's always a little exciting, but it's probably one of the hint books or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Oh, good. Melee did a good job there taking them down. Because I don't necessarily want to engage these guys in melee because their procs are pretty annoying to my group. So I'm just going to try to melt them with Acid Rain. That should finish off those two. And I got a curse going on him. So hopefully I can melt this DK up here as well. So this fight's over at this point. It's really just academic after this. Okay, so both these DKs are live. I'm going to go ahead and start meleeing this one and hit it with some acid spheres because it's already been debuffed. So, and this one's pretty much dead. So, what I like about acid sphere is that it is cheap and fast. And then I'm going to go ahead and banish this guy just so he doesn't throw a fly in the ointment or anything. Oh, nice. Got a Thief's Haste there. So at this point, you know, I could probably pull the entire dungeon without repairing, but a lot of my weapons to me are irreplaceable at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and repair. I like to go someplace where I don't have to enter someplace to repair, like here. So I go over to Mech Square for to hit this guy for repairs. It's more efficient. I don't have to go into a building and do those types of things. And you can see, of course, I left my tank in the combat cloud, so I didn't gather him by accident. Then I'm going to gather them back, and then I'll have my... No, I have my tank go repair, but I'm also going to ether the backpack, because even though it's not overflowing, he does start to get a little heavy and start to move kind of slow. Not bad shop food, 132k. I don't think I've lost that much yet, so so I think I'm a little ahead right now. Thieves Haste is nice, but it drops so much, it just really has no value. The Cleave, if I find a buyer, I could probably get 10 million for. So kind of the same thing here. I'm going to try to push this mage in the middle with melee. Going to hope that my RNG is better than his RNG, and we'll see what happens. That's about as good as I can hope. Everybody's clumped up in the middle. I got 2 rounds before that magician pops. So I'm going to use my guys to start cursing. And I'm going to see how many people I can melt with acid rain. Yeah, like I said, I'm not an expert with acid rain. I just kind of guess. I know it's a 2x2, but it hitboxes and everything. It doesn't make a lot of sense in the realm. So that was pretty good though, hitting everybody in that pile. So what I got? A Reaper, Punisher. Yeah. So the Punishers are weak to acid. The Reapers are not, even if you curse them. But I'm going to go ahead and start prepping this Magician to get killed next turn. So I'm going to debuff it while I continue to melt the big melee clump up there. I'm going to hit it with 2 Mind Rots to make holding a little bit easier when it pops next turn. The melee clump's going down. Now I'll go ahead and start working on this Magician. And I'll continue to melt the mobs up there. Let's see if that works right there. And the Magician does have 2 Mind Rots, which should make it a little easier to hold, but we'll see what happens. Yep, now it's held, so I'll have the melee continue to work it over. His melee is going to pop soon. I think I get 1 more round with him, yeah. So I'm going to see how many more of them I can melt before they clear up. Next turn, the melee will clear, but we'll see where we're at with them at that point. Nobody else died, but they're all pretty hurting, so... Oh, the mage is down, but I don't know. What's con? He's just taking a lot of damage to poison. So I'll go ahead and clear that. And I'll go ahead and get this fight back under control. And I should just be able to pick off the melee one at a time after this. So like I stated before, the Reapers are kind of a joke. Their proc is just more annoying than anything, so I'm going to go ahead and debuff this one, and I should be able to nuke this other one down with Light Dart, but we'll see what happens. Guess it depends if I crit or not. There we go. The Punisher does have an annoying proc, but looks like Cleave's going to kill her. Yep, well, there we go. Nice. Everybody dropped it once. Wow, Shield Bash rank 2. Pretty solid dungeon so far. I'm getting some decent drops in here. I have Razor pick all this up because he donates everything to the Empire, so... Yeah, I'm just going to take a moment here to do some prep work. The fights in here can get very messy, so I take the time to make sure my mages are defended. Probably do it a little bit too much, but, you know, rather spend a little extra time than deal with the wipes. So here, like a lot of the other fights, I'm going to try to push one of these mages to the middle. And again, I mean, there's nothing wrong with throwing individual holds. I just believe first turn's all RNG anyway. You see there, they didn't do any crowd control at all, so I'm going to be able to at least push one guy to the middle. Now, Khan's eating a lot of damage, probably from poison, yep. So I'm going to have to take a moment here and clear his poison. This is why I'd really like EB. So, Gonna take a moment here and go ahead and debuff the mages and mine rod them, and then I'll start melting the DKs and things like that. So I'm not going to be able to kill one of the mages before they pop because I had to take a moment and deal with poisons and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and charge to try to get them clear of the acid rain before it starts dropping. And everything goes well here. I should be able to kill this DK on this turn. Nope. Pretty close, but the mages are going to go live now. And they both have at least one mine rod on them, so I'm going to try to just do the individual holds. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, so they healed, which is good because they did it in crowd control, but it's kind of like one of those spirals I talk about where it just feels like you spend every turn trying to hold or kill a mage, and yeah, I can't really click on that guy, so I'm just gonna go for mass holds here. He's probably gonna heal this guy anyway. Nope, doesn't look like it, so okay, he's down. I believe the melee are gonna pop this turn. Yep, so I'm just gonna stay on top of this magician and try to get the melee under hold again. So at this point, like I said, it's pretty much academic. Looks like that guy almost had dead, got healed. So I'm just gonna. I really want to avoid popping any AMAs right now. I think that guy's already cursed. I did put a curse on him, but I'm gonna throw acid sphere because my guys are kind of clumped up here and not really sure what's gonna happen if I throw acid rain up there. This guy's cursed. He should die. No, he wasn't cursed. He's cursed now, but gotta make sure these guys are cursed. My one necro guy should be able to kill him. So I'm gonna start melting these other guys before they pop. And I'm gonna throw a banishment to get rid of this junk up there. Wow, I lived through that. I'm surprised. No. I'll go ahead and have the melee beat him up. Of course, I'll probably proc AMA that'll last to the end of the turn. It looks like I'm hitting both of these guys, so I'll keep throwing those there. If I don't pop AMA here, should be the end of the fight. Yep, no drops. It's alright, it's been a pretty good dungeon so far. So here, I don't do this fight. I've done it several times, never gotten anything out of it. I do go check the bone piles just in case, but to be honest with you, I've never got anything out of the bone piles either, so I know there's people who advocate for clearing every single fight, and you know, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just all RNG. Killing those guys would give a better chance to see another drop, but the 3 mage fight can be, you know, I'm not going to wipe on it. It's just very annoying because they disrupt and they heal, and it just, to me, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it. So I probably cleared it maybe a dozen times and never gotten anything out of it. So here, you know, we got 2 casters. I'm going to start working on the Reaper just so they don't accidentally pop something, and just going to throw the big bombs and see what happens with RNG. So I did see AMA just pop. Let's see if it clears or not. Looks like AMA is still live, so I'm just going to have everybody attack this Reaper. But I will have one guy throw mass hold or mass heal, just because I have thought it wasn't active, and then it was active. So, but you can tell because the caster's doing melee that AMA is still active. So this could be a wipe if I don't get AMA off. AMA is still running strong. So I might eat a wipe here and see what happens. Just going to have all my guys attack this witch. And I forgot to neutral my guys. I think they're... I think my melee are not neutral anymore. So they seem to be taking a lot of damage. Yeah, AMA is still running strong. You see the mage is fighting, so probably gonna lose my tank here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Alright, so it has dissipated, and here I'm just gonna go into big bomb mode, throw mass heals, mass holds, and just kind of see what happens. So I did lose my tank, but I have the fight somewhat under control. So I'm going to start working this now. And what I'm going to do is pepper these mages with mine rots to make them easier to hold. So I have 2 rounds on the mages right now on the casters. Some of this melee may pop this turn. Yep, that's what I figured would happen. And I'm going to go ahead and debuff this witch in hopes that I can kill it. Next turn, all 3 of the casters will pop. Yep. Now this witch is going to heal, so I don't have to worry too much about her. I'm going to throw a heal mass here because this guy's kind of banged up. But I will throw, again, this is kind of an RNG thing, you know, either I get lucky or they get lucky, and looks like I got lucky this turn, so. And this is why I keep all my mages color-coded, so I can tell who's up and who's not. Witches are Thom weak, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can just nuke her down here and get rid of her. There she goes. And I'll have my thief start working on this magician. But I do have to start being concerned about the melee. The Reaper is Thom weak as well, and he's pretty banged up, so I'm going to see if I can't nuke this guy down here. There we go. And, you know, I do have a plan going into every fight, but, you know, you kind of have to evolve with the fight, as it were, depending on crowd control and things of that nature. Can't remember if I debuff this guy. I'm going to do that, and should be able to kill his DK in 1 to 2 rounds. Yep, DK is pretty hurting. Magician's getting there, but I got 2 live. I can definitely kill this DK with acid spheres. And I got a guy who's pretty banged up. Let's see if we can't get this magician down this turn as well. Ah, of course he got shift off, so I'll never get to him before he heals, so I'm just going to switch my thief off on the melee there, and let's see if I can't hit these guys with individual holds. Of course the mage blew it off. And where's the Reaper? Probably got healed. Nope. Alright, I'm going to try to hold this witch one more time, because she will heal that Reaper. But when they heal somebody else, they're kind of slow. So I'm hoping I can take him down with light darts. Oh, she went for a Zerk, so... And of course, this is like Super Witch here. Just can't hold it, can't do anything to it. Hopefully I can get it held here. If I do, I will switch to the Magician because the Magician is going to pop next. Nope, Super Witch, just can't hold her. Sometimes you get these mobs, they just, every time it rolls in their favor, so I'm just going to hit her with a bunch of Mind Rots here and a Mass Hold, see if I can't get her under control. Of course, she hit me with Mass Crowd Control first. All right, I believe she has 4 Mind Rots on her now, so one of my Who's down, Emmerich's down, which is who I'm casting right now, so... Hopefully I can hold her now. I don't know. Problem with casters is that I know it seems like, I should just be able to DPS through it, but they do heal faster than you can attack. And if I just try to sit there and nuke and DPS every turn, I'm just going to spend all day trying to basically get lucky. So that's why, even though I was down to 2, I worked so hard on getting that one under control. So here again, like I'll never kill that Magician before it heals. So what I'm going to do, because the Magician's going to heal itself, I'm just going to try to DPS this Witch down. Then I'll deal with the Magician next turn. Yep, now I can work on the Magician. I believe he has already debuffed. He only has 1 Mind Rot on him, so... And I believe he's shifting right now, but my focus is to get him under control. There we go. Yeah, he is shifting. I could throw a Thieves' Haste here, but not much point in it. I'm just going to go ahead and dispel it and then start hitting him with some nukes. Don't see any books on the ground, so I don't think I'm going to get a drop off this fight. See what happens. Well, got a bobble of skill. Never complain about that. I know you're all like, oh my god, all this stuff hit the ground, but it's all just junk. My trash guy is going to pick it up, but if I didn't get some of it, I didn't get some of it. You can see there how expensive this dungeon could be. Like my tank died, dropped 18,000 gold, and which means if I take a wipe, I'm gonna drop over 100,000 gold. So now these fights start getting super messy just because there's 3 to 4 mages to deal with, and like I said, I've tried just doing all single holds on them, but it's like either it's gonna hold or it's not. And I'd rather just throw mass holds here, even though I know they're going to outcast me. Because if the mass holds stick, I get control of the fight a lot earlier. So you can see here, pretty solid outcome. My tank got stuck, but that's okay. The diviners are fairly weak, so I'm going to go after the diviner first. I'm going to go ahead and debuff it. And then I'll start throwing out some Mind Rots in preparation of the next time I have to hold them all. If everything goes well here, I should kill his diviner prior to it popping. And it is weak to acid. So I'm going to hit with some acid spheres here so I don't melt my melee. That's what I hate about the way the sprites are layered. It's like you got to click on a knife or a hat or something really small. Make sure you're actually clicking on the right mob. So if everything goes well here, I should kill the Diviner this turn, which is important because all the mages are going to pop next turn. So, yep, my tank never even moved. So I'm going to keep working on this Diviner. And here I will try some individual hold monsters because this guy do have at least one mine rod on him each. This is what I mean when I talk about RNG. You know, they both had a mine rod on them, and two mages were unable to hold them. So I try to get this magician under control. Actually, let's see if I can't kill this Diviner, but I think the mage is going to heal him unless my hold monsters land. I probably just clicked that last one wrong. Yep, you can see I try to hold her again. So, okay, yeah, so I definitely don't want to engage the Punishers because they have a very annoying proc. They proc Fear. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the big bombs here and try to get the fight back under control. Oh, AMA went off. That's a bummer. AMA, from what I read, can go 1 to 4 rounds. If it stays up for the entire 4 rounds, I probably will wipe here, so because all their melee is live. The Punishers are kind of sissies too, but like I said, they have annoying proc. But really, the best thing I can do in this situation is just go for the weakest target and hopefully kill it. Yeah, and I always do test the AMA because there's been times where I thought it was up and, you know, it didn't, and people were still casting. So I went in through a heal mass here, which looks like it did go off. So it looks like the AMA is actually down. You can see we dropped the Punisher there. But now I see AMA suppresses, so it looks like it's not up, but I'll keep focusing on this Punisher. I don't know what happened to that mage. He's somewhere in that pile, I guess, or he died from cleave. So I'm watching to see if my heal mass goes off. And it didn't, so I know AMA is still active. And, okay, it has dissipated. Yeah, the mage is still in there, is still held. I have no idea if this Punisher's been cursed or anything. I'm going to try to go ahead and hold it to get the fight back under control. And we'll go ahead and curse it for when I start nuking it. Okay, I really got to get this mage down before he pops and disrupts the fight. So I'm going to debuff it and nuke it and melee it, and hopefully I can drop it on this turn. Oh, so close. And of course he's going to heal faster than anything I can do, but I know I have a free round here because he's going to heal himself, so I'm going to see if I can't get rid of this DK, but I'm not going to use Acid Rain because I might hit my own guys, and the mages are a little fragile, so pretty close to killing the DK. Oh, good. Magician's pretty hurt, so he's just going to heal himself again. Should be able to take out the DK with one Acid Sphere. which will let me start nuking the Magician. But if the Magician doesn't die this turn, I'll go back to holding it just because I don't want to do this constant, heal nuke, heal nuke. Yep, he's dead. Gonna go ahead and prep some shifts, but of course, no, my luck, I'm gonna proc AMA here. AMA did go off, but a little too late, so. So I did renew the shifts and the invulnerabilities. Nice drop so far. Been pretty happy with this dungeon. And I believe I'm 2 fights off of Rose Dia right now. Yeah, 2 fights. So again, with this fight, like a lot of the other ones, going to try to go after the weaker target and just throw some bombs, and we'll just see what happens. Punishers do have a very annoying proc, but they're pretty easy to kill. All right, worked out pretty good for me. Let's see what we got here. A Magician and a Witch. You can see all my crowd control hit, and there's did hit, but it didn't stick very long. So going after the Witch because she's weak to Thumb. Should be able to kill her prior to the hold coming off. Now, of course, she shifted, which makes it more difficult. So I got to worry about this guy next turn. I don't have a Mind Rot on him, but I really want to get rid of this Witch if I can. So we'll see what happens. There we go. So hope he doesn't proc AMA. All right, good. So I'm going to start working on this Magician and hope he doesn't shrug 4 hold monsters. All right, good, but Death Knight's going to be getting hit with Cleave, so it means could see an AMA pop here. I can't remember if I debuff this guy. I'm going to go ahead and debuff him. But I need to start melting these other guys too, so let's start working on these guys a little bit. So use my Demon Stroke guys on him, and then hit the Magician with a debuff. All right, good. They didn't proc AMA, so that's good. So here I'm going to go after, oops, looks like I clicked on the Death Knight there. Want to go after the Reaper here because his proc is more annoying than anything. So if my crowd control sticks here, this fight's pretty much over. Yep, looking real solid, except I'm on the Death Knight. Hope it doesn't proc AMA. It did not, so I can get working on the Reaper. And I'm going to start melting the Death Knights. Reaper should die, or the Death Knight should die to Cleave. Just hope it doesn't proc AMA in the process. Here I'm going to use Acid Spheres because, like I said, I'm not an expert with Acid Rain. I'm just as likely to kill my mage as I am to kill the Death Knight. But it's been cursed, so yeah, it'll take a lot of damage. Yeah, Death Knight, there we go. And have the melee finish him off. Go ahead and renew my shifts. Hopefully don't proc AMA before I get all my shifts off. There we go. And nice little run there. No drops, but so this is the next fight, I believe, is the final fight before the boss mob. And it is a very annoying fight. There's 4 casters in it. A lot of disruption goes on, a lot of healing. So I'm going to fully prep all my guys here just in case it doesn't go my way. Yep, so you can see we have 4 mages. And again, even though the Punisher has an annoying proc, we go for the Punisher first because it's the weakest target. And just have my mages throw bombs, and then we'll see what happens. So not too bad of a result. Nobody's really banged up yet. So I'm going to go ahead and throw another round of mass holds, and hopefully RNG goes my way. I don't proc too many fears off that Punisher. Okay, I do have the whole fight under control, but you can see 3 of my guys are held. This, of course, becomes a problem where if you spend a lot of time dispelling, you lose all your crowd control, as it were. So let's see who I have. Fanes and Gunnerick. So I'm going to see if I can't finish off this Punisher with an Acid Rain if I targeted that right. And Gunnerick's up, so I'm going to dispel one of my mages. And even though I know they're held, I'm still going to tell them to do something. You never know. Yeah, I missed him. No, I got him, just didn't kill him. As I mean about the problem here with so many mages, it gets really difficult to control, but I do want to get one of these melee out. Fanes is up. I'm going to go throw a Wog. And who is down? Mech Razor is down. So I'm going to go ahead and start peppering out some Mind Rots and things like that. So I have to get these casters under control. Oh, that's right. I forgot Punishers are immune to Wog, so I think another caster is going to pop this turn. Yep, a bunch of them are. Really need to get rid of that Punisher before it gets healed, so get hit with a fast Acid Sphere, which should kill it prior to it getting healed. There we go. Nobody's hurting life-wise, so I'm not going to go into big bomb mode yet, but I'm going to throw mass holds to see if I can't get this guy under control. Mech Razor's still up there drooling, but I'm going to hit this guy with a Mind Rot to help with the holds. Okay, looks like I got the fight somewhat under control. A lot of my guys shrugged. Mech Razor finally decided to rejoin the fight. I was going to say, I think one of my guys, yeah, is still held. So I really need to start melting these Death Knights. Because once you get their melee down, the mages are just more of an annoyance than anything. Because what starts getting annoying about him is you get him low in the heel, and you get him low in the heel, and it just, you can kill him eventually. It just takes forever. Because I don't really want to lose a turn of DPS dispelling. I'm just going to ignore that guy for now. I really need to finish melting these Death Knights here before they get loose again. I swore I cursed these guys. Alright, looks like we can drop that witch this turn, which is good. These DKs are acting like they're not cursed at all, or I think one of them's cursed, so I'm going to curse that one. Yeah, and I got some annoying clump of summon stuff up here I want to try to get rid of. See if we can't get rid of this witch. There we go. Okay. Now this DK's live, but it's cursed. It's basically dead. So I'm going to hit it with an acid sphere, which should go off faster than the Diviner's heal. Okay, the fight should be fairly simple at this point, but you never know. These guys, can't remember if I debuffed him or not. These guys can proc a bunch of weird stuff and anything can happen, so just gonna keep shooting till he's dead. There we go. Did I get a book? Nope, Coins of the Dead. And here I'll show you the puzzle part, and then I'm going to end it because the Rose Dia, or however it's pronounced, the boss mob fight, can take a bit of time. I don't want to stick it on this video. So got 2 mushrooms of death here. Nobody died. That's good. And you saw I set on the left one, then the right one. And this is unfortunately one of the ones where you can't really start the puzzle until you clear it. So there's not much you can do about that. And pull this twice. And now the door should open. Okay, all you're going to miss is me just prepping all my mages, and then I'll film this other fight as a separate fight.